Hey everyone, my name is Emily Vermillion. I am a certified life coach, and you are here on my page, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a life hack training today, all about how to maximize your days by simplifying your life with these simple tips. I think my title is different. Simplify your life. Simplify and maximize? I don't know, but you get what I'm trying to say. So these tips are going to help you kind of figure out what and how to get rid of things so that you can make the most of your time, make the most of your mental headspace, because if you're a mom or living, in this world, we all have limited headspace as well. Am I right? So these tips I hope are going to be helpful for you guys to start implementing right away and get you in a better frame of mind so that you can be more productive in your day, feel more mentally fit and healthy, and just have a more positive outlook on everything going on in life, right? Okay, so first things first, you want to automate all that you can. It's going to look different, a little bit different for everybody because everyone's responsibilities are a little bit different. But for me, for instance, I've automated our grocery shopping. I use a service called Instacart. I have not gone to grocery shop in several years now. I was an early adopter of the Instacart service, especially once my favorite stores were part of their deal. So it's just been a lifesaver. With two small toddlers, it was just important to me to make that simple. Because quite frankly, I didn't enjoy going to the grocery store with two toddlers, and I didn't want to have to do that in the midst of everything else in my week. Being a work from home mom as well, it's too much. So I automated grocery shopping, and that has been a godsend, honestly. I have my routine. I order my groceries every Wednesday, and go from there. Now, do we have to run and get odds and ends sometimes? If I decide to do a recipe that I need an extra ingredient for, yes. If we run out of things early, do we run and grab something? Of course. But ultimately, I've automated that part of my life so that I don't have to really think about it or take the extra steps or time to do it. And it makes shopping in the future super easy because I can easily just copy my previous order and then change things or add things. And it makes it so simple. So automate what you can. Another place to automate is your morning routine. So something that I do, a built-in habit that I've created for myself is part of my routine, and part of my goals is to constantly keep up to date with courses and things like that to help me with my life coaching and just me as a person. I love to do Bible studies and have Bible time. So for me, I automate things while I'm doing other things. So what I mean by that, for instance, every morning when I'm getting ready for the day, doing my makeup and stuff, I turn on either my Bible study or my course that I want to get through that day, and I watch the video. So I'm in my bathroom anyway, spending time doing that, and this is mindless to me. I can hear other things. And so I pop in my earphones and I get ready and do my course at the same time, or do my Bible study at the same time, my Bible reading. The YouVersion app, of Bible app, can read out to you. So even if you can audibly do your Bible reading for the day by listening to it, right? So you can incorporate things that you want to do daily that are going to be important for you to accomplish a goal or to stay mentally healthy. For me, doing those things are mentally fulfilling for me, so I want to do them daily. And so I work that in as part of my morning routine, and it's automatic. I don't have to think about it. It's I just know when I go to get ready and put my makeup on, I turn my course on, and it's an automatic thing that I do and consume and go about my day and can check that off my list. You can automate lots of things like your bills to be paid automatically. That's another one. So you don't have to keep remembering things up here, or keeping pieces of paper around to remind you. You can automate your bills. Getting all your stuff done electronically is a great thing because it takes it off your plate, and you don't have to keep up with that, and you don't have to remember it. It takes just a few minutes extra initially to get it set up, and then you can just set it and forget it. So I'm all about the set and forget, because it just helps limit what you're having to keep track of and what you're having to keep coming back to. So automate all that you can. It might be a good idea for you to list out everything that you have to do on a weekly basis, whether it's pick up dry cleaning or get groceries, pay bills, whatever it is, or the daily things that you're trying to do, and just see the list so that you can see, okay, how could I automate this, right? The other thing to do to help simplify your day is pick your top 3. I talk about this often, but having a top 3, not 6, but top 3, is going to help you stay way more focused and clear and productive on meeting your goals. I don't know about you guys, but I can put so many things down on my plate and in my planner, and then I'm like overwhelmed. And I feel like anytime you have more than 3, you inherently do the things that are easiest that day, and those hardest things always keep getting pushed. So instead of like overwhelming yourself, just have 3 things, and they can be varying in time that it takes. It can be varying in what it is. It could be a personal errand mixed with a work call mixed with, whatever. So something you need to order or whatever, get ordered. It could be a mix of things, but like, what are your top 3 for today that will help you feel better for tomorrow? And that's always like the little question I ask myself: how will I feel better tomorrow? Well, if I get X, Y, and Z done, I'm going to feel better tomorrow. I'm going to lay my head down tonight and be like, whew, I'm glad I got that done, because now I can do this tomorrow. And most of the things that we're working on need precursor steps to do. So it's like, we might have this thing like, oh, I can't even think right now, but I've got to get this done. But before you can even get that done, you have to do all these little things first. And so you keep putting this on your calendar, but you need to get these done first, and you can't make the connection to actually get to this point, right? So having your goal to have a top 3 each day, it's going to help you dissect that down, that task that you need to get done down, and you can bite 3 off at a time and get to the point where you need to get to. So having a top 3 has been a game changer for me. Every day I put my top 3. I have to get this done, come heck or high water. Before I close my eyes tonight, these 3 things have to be done. And normally I just feel great when I get those 3 things done, and some days I can get more than 3 things done, and that just makes me feel even better. So top 3 is a great simplified way of condensing all the things running around that you want to get done, and keeps you focused and motivated, because 3 is a lot easier to accomplish than 15 things, right? And inherently you're going to pick the easiest of the 15, and so those ones that you really do need to be addressing, but you just keep putting it off. So just do top 3. Just do your top 3 every day. The other thing to do is dual tasks together. I kind of already mentioned this, like in my morning routine, I make it an automatic habit to turn a course on or my Bible reading on while I'm doing my makeup. You can apply that same logic to a lot of different things. So if you are working from home and you have to be on a call that's like a training call that you need to pay attention to, but it's not like super imperative, well, block that time out to also check your email. So it's like, I'm listening to this call, but I'm actually going through my email and making sure I got that cleared away or whatever. Dual tasks, like for me, I love to when I'm doing the dishes at night, again, I pull up something that I need to either read or listen to. So it could be, one of my courses that I'm taking, in the nature of stuff right now, like everything's online. So it's like I'm listening to things and then I'm doing the dishes at the same time. So I'm knocking that task off dual. So see what you can do together, to get things done. And that can even just be pleasurable things. So know in your mind, when I go to lunch, I'm going to read a chapter out of my book that I'm enjoying. And that is a motivation to get you to lunch, right? And it makes you excited for what's to come in your day. So it's not just so mundane. It's kind of a reward. Like, I get to go to lunch, and at the same time I'm eating lunch, I'm going to get to have that time to read my book. And you can like plan that in your day. So it makes you excited, it makes you happy, but it also, keeps you kind of progressing and doing things that make your day more interesting and more fulfilling, really, and bringing you a lot more joy. So make sure that you are doing that as well. Dual things together. The other thing is to create time blocks. So time blocking is a great technique. You can get as detailed down to time blocking every 15 minutes or as broad as 2-hour windows or 4-hour windows. What I like to use time blocking for is I have my kids on a schedule. They've been on a schedule since day one. And so I work certain things into my day based on what they're doing in their day. So that looks like, right now Edie's nap time, and Banks is doing a school lesson on the iPad right now while I'm doing this live. So it helps me like block out okay, this is what's going on, so this can happen. Then too, another way to help you with that is to keep you productive, is to make sure that you are doing things to help cut down on distraction. So like if you are, like, let's say you're a family and you are from 5 to 7 or something like that, is dinner time and all that stuff, don't turn the TV on. Don't get distracted by the TV. Enjoy your time as a family. It could be like tech-free hours for the day. So you're not on your phone. Your phone's put away for that time. And that ensures that you're spending that quality present time with your kids, which is so needed, right? And it keeps you connected as a family, or if you don't have kids, with your partner, you know, having that time, okay, from 5 to 7, like we don't have our cell phones out. And so that ensures, that sets up a boundary that keeps you in line with what you need to get done in that amount of time. Talking to each other, spending time together, making dinner, cleaning it up, you know what I mean? So it's not like so crazy. And you can apply that logic to your daily life too, like with work. And time blocking, okay, when I get back from lunch, the first 30 minutes when I get back are to answer all emails, you know, and clear out my inbox again. So you just kind of have these time blocks in your day that ensure you accomplishing what you need to keep you not feeling overwhelmed, keep you connected to the things that are important to you, and keep you focused on what you need to get done, right? So time blocking is a great technique for that, and one that I love to use because I use it and chunks it for my day to get things done. The next thing is to read the news online. And this kind of goes hand in hand with like social media in general and what you're consuming. So if you read the news online, I know a lot of people, there's apps you can but download and use, where you can plug in the news sources that you want. And basically it strips, instead of having to go to like, let's say Wall Street Journal website and you like see all the articles and all the things that they're trying to push in your face that day, you basically just get this app and it just gives you the headlines of what you want, and it takes all the pictures out. It's just text. Like there are tons of apps that do that. So that is a great thing because it just gives you a distilled one-shot place to look at all the news that you want to look at and you want to keep up with, and that helps you from being distracted. It helps you from going down rabbit holes that you don't need to be going down. It helps you from getting upset about crap you don't want to see, but seeing out of the corner of your little eye, and it just gives you the information that you're interested, that you want, and keeps you going, keeps you focused on other things, right? And keeps you moving along. And this is important for like social media. I mean, I would say for things like social media, you know, just have a time of day that you do that and then it's done. So that keeps you simplified, because we all know we lose hours, literally hours, to that junk, right? And when you add up the hours, it adds up to months of your life, maybe years, okay? So it's important that we limit that, because we say we don't have a time for a lot of things that would make a positive, life-altering shift in our world if we set aside the time for it. We always say we don't have time for that stuff, but then when you like really get down to the nuts and bolts of what you spend your time on, you'll be astonished at how much time you really spend, you know, doing this, right? So keeping social media at bay, keeping news at bay, like not turning your TV on to watch the news, because then all the other stuff starts coming in. Just use those apps, or sign up for newsletters that just give you the text version. There's a great newsletter that I'm subscribed to. If you are a believer, it is like a nonpartisan email newsletter. It keeps up with the news, and it also has like a Christian, I don't want to say twist, but I guess it is. Like it's for Christian believers, but it gives you like the distilled news headline version. It's called the Pour Over, like POUR over, like pour over coffee, the Pour Over newsletter. Google that. You can sign up for that. That I love to use because it gives me the breakdown of all the news for the day that I would feel like is important for me to know. And it doesn't have any meta narrative attached to it. It doesn't have any opinion pushed on it. It's encouraging, and it just gives me the headlines. There's no fluffery. There's no like things I can get lost on. So I love that newsletter, but there's a lot of them out there. So just see which one fits your needs best. And then the other thing I want to say is to declutter. So our physical spaces impact us subconsciously in our mental space. So if you have a bunch of junk laying around, or your desk is a mess, or your refrigerator is crammed and you can't ever get your groceries in it, it just causes undue stress. And the more things that you have, material things you have, the more time you waste. Why? Because number one, you're having to move all those material things around. You're having to do something with them constantly. One of my biggest things to think about is like toys for my kids. It's insane how much time I spend walking around in a circle picking up toys. And half the time they're toys that they haven't even played with. They're just old toys that they just dump on the floor and walk away from. So I have started, I purge toys constantly. It is a constant thing that I do because I don't want a bunch of toys in my house. I don't like them. They make me feel crazy. They make our space crazy, and it's just not good for our mental health. So you can apply toys to lots of stuff. If you have too many papers, too many magazines, too many pieces of mail, clean that junk out. And my biggest rule of thumb is when you get something new, clean out something old. So when you get a new toy, get rid of a toy. When you get a piece of mail, throw the envelope in the trash or put it in the to-do thing, but don't let I'll just get to this later, and you just keep stacking it, right? Because you're going to have to spend hours going through a huge stack when you could have spent 28 seconds going through one little stack at a time, right? Right when it comes in, and then you're not thinking about it. So declutter is huge, like clothes, kitchen items, like everything that you touch, you can declutter. Okay. So declutter is a huge thing. It will lessen your time of having to touch things and move things. Think about laundry, think about what's in your refrigerator. One thing for me is every time I order groceries, I clean my refrigerator out. So I clean my refrigerator out while I'm waiting for Instacart to get here. And then when it's time, I have plenty of space to put everything in, and it's so nice. And then the other thing I want to tell you is get rid of, this goes with decluttering, but it's kind of like habits too. Like, for instance, get rid of having to do things in like big chunks of time. So like for example, every time I take a shower, like our shower is like real, it's tiled, and we have like hard water and, soap scum and stuff that gets on the bottom of the shower, all that stuff. And so you can just take your shower every day, and then after a week or so, you have to spend time like scrubbing the shower to get it real clean again, right? And you're having to like spend all this time doing that. Well, I did that one time and I was like, I'm over this already. Like, I don't want to spend this amount of time having to scrub all this off. So what I did is I bought a little scrub brush that suctions to the wall, and every single time I go, that's fine. Every time I go to take a shower, I immediately scrub everything off right then. And then, sorry, I got distracted. Mom life. So every time I take my shower, I immediately scrub it down right then. There's no soap scum buildup. It looks clean every day. It's a joy to get in. I'm not grossed out. You know what I mean? And I don't have to take some crazy amount of time on Saturday to clean it from top to bottom. I just scrub it down one good time before I step out. And that eliminated that whole extra huge task and made me enjoy my shower more because everything's just looking clean all the time. So think about things that you can like make more simplified. And if you could do them in little bite-sized things, do that rather than having to take like X amount of time to spend hours doing it, right? Because you're trying to muddle through a bunch instead of just hitting it bit by bit, right? So I hope these tips help you guys, because I know when I started to think about, okay, what can I automate? Decluttering made it easier for me to clean everything up. Like, it takes me way less time to clean up all the toys because I don't have as many to clean up, right? Time blocking my day is huge. That helps me in spades, especially once I became a mom. Having my top 3 every day, that was a huge change for me because I would just write everything down and just keep moving that same huge list day after day, because again, our nature is to just always do the easiest thing on the list first. So all the big things never got started or got good headway on. So then procrastination at its finest, it gets to the end and you're like, oh my gosh, I have this huge project. It's been on my list for a solid month. Why am I not further along? Well, that's why, because you didn't break it down and then tackle it 3 little things at a time, right? So top 3 is huge. So these have been my things that have helped me simplify my life to maximize my productivity and make me feel better about my daily life. I hope they help you and encourage you to just make things easier for you, because we only have so much time here and we need to enjoy it as much as we can and not be weighed down by everything. So I will talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.